of the city lights.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, how are you guys doing today on this Friday, October 29th, 2021? Thank you for joining me here tonight for another metallic episode of Music of Destruction. Bringing you guys the very best in metal-related content right here on YouTube, on one of the only metal channels you need. If you missed anything in the past week, click the eye in the upper right corner of the screen, get caught up on all the latest videos. I am getting back into the routine of doing videos 4 times a week. I did take a bit of a break. I was very busy with the freedom movement, etc. If you want me to review anything, make suggestions in the comments section below. No slam, deathcore, metalcore, or modern tech death. Remember, subscribe and turn on that bell so you don't miss anything. You're looking at one of the hardest working metal channels on YouTube. No one's going to give it to you as brutally honest as I do, because I'm unfiltered, uncompromising, and I don't give a fuck if people like my opinions. Welcome to Metal Album Warfare Fridays here on the channel. Tonight we have 2 traditional heavy metal bands doing battle, with Dio, Master of the Moon, versus Haunt, Mind Freeze. Now, Master of the Moon was released in 2004 on Sanctuary Records, and Mind Freeze released in 2020 on Church Recordings. If you want a biography on either band, you can check out reviews of both albums in the album reviews playlist. Alright, so let's just get into it, shall we? First up, we have Dio, One More for the Road versus Haunt's Light the Beacon. And you know what? Both these songs are so powerfully epic, compelling, and fantasy-driven. You can certainly hear the nostalgia in Haunt's music very, very much. You can hear that old school raw production, that garage production, but that epic feel. Same with Dio's One More for the Road. For 2004, the production on Master of the Moon is pretty garage-like, but I think Haunt is a bit raw. But again, how can you go wrong with anything Ronnie James Dio did? You just can't. Both these tracks are getting a point. Next up, the title track from Dio, Master of the Moon versus Haunt's Hearts on Fire. And Hearts on Fire is a bit of a faster track. It's got some great double bass work and guitar riffs and drumming, or I said drumming, and bass and lyrics. But so is Master of the Moon from Dio. It's a bit of a slower track, a lot more epic, a lot more atmospheric. But again, both incredible tracks, getting a point there as well. Next up, Dio, The End of the World versus Haunt's Mind Freeze. 2 of these tracks combined against each other here are absolutely incredible. The End of the World has a very powerful atmosphere to it. It's very compelling and a great listen, and will take you away from this world. So will Mind Freeze from Haunt, although I think this track is about loss and despair, being that it's about a relationship. But again, really great heavy metal epics, both these tracks. You got some great guitar riffing on both. You got some great lead sections on both. And again, Haunt taking a lot of inspiration from Dio, and obviously Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, all those bands. You can certainly hear that here. Both of them getting a point. Next up, Dio's Shivers versus Haunt's Divide and Conquer. Again, 2 amazing epic tracks here. With nothing but power and conviction, as well as a lot of atmospheric textures going on. I really love the drums on both these tracks, and the guitar work and bass, and of course the vocals. But yeah, I got to give a point to each there as well. Next up, Dio, The Man Who Would Be King versus Haunt's Saviors of Man. And very similar tracks in terms of subject matter and compositional framework, but of course, The Man Who Would Be King, Dio's stuff was a lot more fantasy-driven, although Haunt's stuff is very fantasy-driven as well. There's a little bit more of a personal take with Haunt's music, especially on this album, than there is with Master of the Moon. But Master of the Moon has its own personality to it as well. There's a lot of personal lyrics from Dio on here. Both these tracks getting a point. Next up, Dio, The Eyes versus Haunt's Fight or Flight. Both incredibly powerful tracks. I love how moving they are. Love the atmosphere of both these tracks, and how the delivery in the instrumentation, and of course the lyricism and vocals from both these guys. Trevor, what the hell's his last name? Trevor Church, and Ronnie James Dio, of course, incredible frontman and vocalist. But Dio, I mean, come on, he's God. All right, so they're both getting a point. Next up, Dio, Living the Lie versus Haunt's Have No Fear. Really heavy songs, especially on the Dio side of the spectrum. Living the Lie is a great track. It's very emotional. There's some anger to this track, lots of anger to this track. But again, Haunt's Have No Fear has its own edge to it as well. I really love both of these tracks equally. Great instrumentation and atmosphere, and just traditional heavy metal epics, man. Great tracks. Both getting a point. Next up, Dio's I Am versus Haunt's On the Stage. Both amazing fucking songs from two legendary bands. I know Haunt is new, but they got that old school sound I talked about earlier. And of course, I Am from Dio. What more needs to be said? Both fucking killer goddamn songs. And I love the fact that they take Haunt takes so much influence from Dio, and you can certainly hear that within the framework of this album and track. So both getting a point. Next up, Dio's Death by Love versus Haunt's Voyager. And these tracks are great closers, although there is one more track on the Dio side of things. Haunt's Mind Freeze only had 9 songs, but anyway, Death by Love, one of Ronnie James Dio's most personal tracks, and you can certainly hear the emotion and some of the sadness in his voice on this one, but also very powerfully epic and upbeat. That's the thing about Dio, his music was always very upbeat and always meant to make you feel better, and it does that. Voyager just makes me feel like escaping from the Earth and just traveling the cosmos. Yeah, amazing fucking stuff from both these tracks, both getting a point. Alright, so let's add up the scores. Master of the Moon comes in with 9 points. Mind Freeze comes in with 9 points. We have another tie because how the hell can you go wrong with either Haunt or Dio? You just fucking can't. Classic, traditional heavy metal making its way here on the channel. There's going to be some more of that as well. I'm going to be getting more Haunt, some Beastmaker as well, some more Dio, and some Iron Maiden as well, so make sure you guys look forward to that. Incredible, enchanting, emotional, compelling, and powerful heavy metal. Hail Dio and Hail Haunt. Alright guys, so there you have it, another Metal Album Warfare in the books here on Music of Destruction. I hope you guys enjoyed the premiere. If you're new, subscribe, turn on that notification bell, select all for all notifications. teespring.com/music-of-destruction for some merch there. Great stuff on there. I'm also got a Bonfire store, bonfire.com/store/music-of-destruction. Some great stuff on there. Putting up some new stuff as soon as I get the chance. I've been a very busy person, man. If you want to help out on Patreon, patreon.com/music-of-destruction. The Seed episode 34, The History of Les Legions Noir is up there now. I'm also going to be working on the Seed episode 35, The History of Cryptopsy. Part 1 is going to be coming up by mid-November. So make sure you guys check that out. Always appreciate the support. Thank you so much. Colton James and myself still working on Beyond the Big Screen. He's out there right now. I guess he didn't like what he had to say the first time around, so he's doing a whole new narration portion for his stuff. My stuff's almost done. And yeah, we're going to be reviewing Alien from 1979 as part of our Alien Trilogy special. Make sure you head on over to Beyond the Big Screen Movie and Game Review and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate all of you. Like, comment, subscribe, share this video. We will see you for Album Review Tuesdays. Have a great night.